Good morning to all. Let us today discuss about the coherent sources and interference. Coherent sources. Coherent sources of light are those sources of light which emit light waves of same wavelength, same frequency, and in same phase or having constant phase difference. Coherent sources can be produced by two methods: by division of wavefront, that is Young's double slit experiment, Fresnel's bioprism, and Lloyd's mirror; by division of amplitude, that is used in partial reflection or refraction. Now let us discuss the interference of waves. Now this is one wave. Another wave is traveling over in the same direction having the same amplitude. Now if the waves are interfering like this, then we can say that constructive interference and the energy amplitude is equal to E1 plus E2. Similarly, if the interference is like this, or they superimpose, the two waves superimpose in this manner, in that case the interference is the destructive and the amplitude is the difference of the individual amplitude. E is equal to E1 minus E2. So red one, we can let us explain it again, that red color is the first wave, purple color or is the second wave, the resultant wave is of the green color, and the blue color is the reference line. So when they superimpose in this manner, in that case the result is in the constructive interference, and the resultant amplitude of the resultant wave is the sum of the waves of the two amplitude of the two waves. While if they superimpose in this manner, in that case the destructive interference and the resultant amplitude is the difference of the two amplitude of the two waves. Now if S1 and S2 are the two waves, they are producing the two waves, the one just like shown in this picture. So S1 and S2, if they are producing the two waves, then waves will travel in all directions. The wavefront will travel in all directions. The points where the wavefront they superimpose in the constructive interference, the amplitude is maximum, and the point where they superimpose in the opposite manner, then the destructive interference and the resultant amplitude will be zero. This is shown in this. Now here this line is the bright band. So because all the waves they are interfering each other in a constructive manner, so their amplitude is maximum. So all these points will appear as a bright band, and all the points where the waves are interfering as a destructive interference, there we will get the dark band. So when the two waves starting from the two different sources they superimpose each other, at a resultant we obtain the bright dark bright bands. So the phenomena of one wave interfering with another and the resulting redistribution of energy in the space around the two sources of disturbance is called the interference of waves. So this phenomena is called the interference of wave, in which one wave interfere with another wave and the resulting distribution of energy in the space around the two sources of disturbance is called the interference of the waves. Now theory of interference wave. Now let us, these are the two waves, E1 is equal to A sin omega 2 and E2 is equal to B sin omega t plus 5. These are the mathematical representation. The waves are with the same speed, wavelength, frequency, time period, nearly equal amplitude, traveling in the same direction with constant phase difference of phi. So E1 and E2, these are the two waves having the same speed, same wavelength, same frequency, same time period, and nearly equal amplitude, traveling in the same direction with constant phase difference of phi. Omega is the angular frequency of the waves. A, B are the amplitude. E1, E2 are the instantaneous values of the electric displacement. Now, applying superposition principles, the magnitude of the resultant displacement of the wave is E is equal to E1 plus E2. So, E is equal to A sin omega t plus B sin omega t plus phi. Now, you know from the mathematics knowledge, from the previous knowledge, sin A plus B is sin A cos B, sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. This expression or the formula you know from your previous knowledge. So using this expression here, sin omega t plus phi, A is omega t, B is phi. So using this expression here, elaborate it and then recombine the sin omega t terms in one along one like this, and cos omega t like this. So this expression will reduce to E is equal to A plus B cos phi sin omega t plus B sin phi cos omega t. Now putting A plus B cos phi is equal to A cos theta and B sin phi is equal to A sin theta, then this expression reduces to A is equal to E A sin omega t plus phi, again by putting these two values in this equation and recombining using the same formula, sin A plus B is equal to sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. This expression reduces to E is equal to A sin omega t plus theta, where E is the resultant displacement, A is the resultant displacement, A is the resultant amplitude, and theta is the resultant phase difference. So here we can say that A is equal to under root A square plus B square plus 2AB cos phi. So how? Using these two equations. If you square these two equations and add, you will get this expression. A is equal to under root A square plus B square plus 2AB cos phi, because if you square these two equations, A square cos square theta plus A square sin square theta, and from your previous knowledge, sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1, recombining these two terms, rearranging, then you will get A is equal to under root A square plus B square plus 2AB cos phi. And tangent theta is equal to, by dividing these two equations, you will get tan theta. So tan theta is equal to B sin phi upon A plus B cos phi. In another manner, the same mathematical theory can also be represented like this. Now here A is the amplitude, B is the amplitude, because A and B both amplitude is a vector term. So you can represent A and B having these two, the phase difference is phi. So just recall your law of theory of this addition of the two vectors, parallelogram law of addition of the two vectors. When you add two vectors, then resultant is the capital A. From here it is capital A, and then from here you can see that by just combining these two, if you extend it like this, then A is equal to A square is equal to B square cos square phi. Sorry, that is let us see again. That is if you recombine, then this is A square plus B square plus 2AB cos phi, where phi is the angle between A and B. Just recall the law of parallel addition, vector addition of the two vectors, parallelogram law of vector addition of the two vectors. Now the component of B along x-axis is B cos phi and along y-axis is B sin phi, and if theta is the angle between the resultant and the A vector, then tan theta is equal to B sin phi upon A plus B cos phi. So mathematically you can do like this, or through the figure you can add the two vectors like this, but the result will be same. That is, the resultant amplitude will be given by under root a square plus b square plus 2ab cos phi, and the angle between the two amplitude a and b is theta, then tangent theta is equal to b sin phi upon a plus b cos phi. So here E is the resultant displacement, A is the resultant amplitude, and theta is the resultant phase difference. So A is equal to under root a square plus b square plus 2ab cos phi. Intensity I is proportional to the square of the amplitude of the wave. As we know that I is proportional to the square of the amplitude of the wave, so we can say that I is proportional to a square, or I is proportional to a square plus b square plus 2ab cos phi. I think till here it is clear to all of you. Now let us discuss the condition for constructive interference of the waves, at which place the interference will be constructive. Now for constructive interference, I should be maximum, which is possible. Now from this equation, if we will say that I will be maximum only when then cos phi is equal to plus 1. So for constructive interference, I should be maximum, and in that case cos phi is equal to plus 1. And in general term, we can say that phi is equal to 2n pi, because cos 2n pi is always positive 1. So from here we can say that phi is equal to 2n pi, and where n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. Now corresponding path difference. Path difference is equal to lambda upon 2 pi into phase difference. So from that relation we can find out the path difference. Path difference is lambda upon 2 pi into the phase difference, that is 2n pi. So this expression will reduce to path difference is equal to n lambda. So we can say that if the path difference between the two waves is given by n lambda, then at all those points we will obtain the constructive interference, and in that case the maximum intensity will be a plus b whole square, because here if you put cos phi is equal to 1, then this will reduce to a plus b whole square. So in maximum intensity will be I proportional to a plus b whole square. And for destructive interference, now from this expression it is clear that for destructive interference the intensity should be maximum. So this term should be negative, and cos phi is equal to minus 1. And in general, phi is equal to 2n plus 1 pi, where n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. So similarly, the path difference is equal to lambda upon 2 pi into 2n plus 1 pi, and this will reduce to path difference is equal to 2n plus 1 lambda by 2, and I minimum is equal to a minus b square. So let us repeat once again that from we know that intensity of is proportional to a square, so I is proportional to a square plus b square plus 2ab cos phi. Now this will be maximum when cos phi is equal to plus 1. So when cos phi is equal to plus 1, then phase difference is equal to 2n pi, and the path difference is n lambda, and in that case the maximum intensity is proportional to a plus b whole square. For constructive interference, cos phi should be the value should be minimum, and cos phi is equal to minus 1. Phi is equal to 2n plus 1 pi, and so path difference is 2n plus 1 lambda by 2, and in that case the minimum intensity is proportional to a minus b whole square. Now comparison of intensity of maxima and minimum. Now I maximum is proportional to a plus b whole square, I minimum is proportional to a minus b whole square. So from here if we divide these two, I maximum upon I minimum is equal to a plus b whole square upon a minus b whole square, or rearranging this term a upon b, if you take b common, then the same expression can be rearranged in this manner. And if a plus upon b is equal to r, then I maximum upon I minimum is equal to r plus 1 whole square upon r minus 1 whole square, where r is equal to a plus b and the ratio of the amplitude. So this is the relation between the comparison between the maximum and the minimum intensities. Now relation between intensity, amplitude of the wave and width of the slit. Now width of the slit by which we have produced the waves. So I is proportional to a square. A square is the amplitude and intensity is proportional to a square of the amplitude, and A is proportional to under root W. So from here we can get the relation, as we know that I proportional to A square and A proportional to under root W. So from this relation, I1 upon I2 is A1 square upon A2 square, or is equal to W1 upon W2. That is all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.